Let's do some Nay or Day right now here on 104.3 FM WQAM Miami sports leader Zach Wilson. Some people thought yesterday had himself a pretty good game. Some people said, man, that Quinn Ewers is somebody. But for right now, Zach Wilson is our backup quarterback right behind Tua Tagovailoa. Zach Wilson spoke after the game. He gave an honest assessment on how he felt he played yesterday against the Detroit Lions.
Had some good things, but definitely some things for us to clean up, including myself, of course, and just from a whole operation just wasn't very good, and that starts with me just getting the guys in and out of the huddle, making sure we're lining up the right way. A lot of times, guys going the wrong side, or me not hearing the play entirely clear from the sideline and putting us in the right stuff. So, I thought that needed to be cleaner.
Yeah, it's going to be a little sloppy, Vlad. You have to understand that it's preseason. A lot of these guys aren't your starters. Actually, none of them are your starters outside of Jonas Savinaya. So they're going to be lining up wrong. Zach Wilson's going to have a lot to deal with. I thought Zach Wilson had a lot more poise this week. He looked a lot better in the pocket. His passes were crisper. He did miss on some passes. He did really throw some passes that should have been intercepted, but didn't get intercepted. But for the most part, I thought what we've been asking all preseason long from the quarterbacks and for everyone, just show some progression. And I do think Zach Wilson did show some progression yesterday. He also spoke about that progression and what was better this week as opposed to what was happening last week.
I think just the feeling of being out there and getting into a little bit of a rhythm and flow. Like, I thought we put together some good long drives, and the longer you're out there, the more comfortable you get. And so I was starting to hit that point where I was starting to feel comfortable just being out there, and I think some of the other guys were as well.
Zach Wilson's a work in progress. And we know one thing that Mike McDaniel can do is he can build a quarterback back up because Tua Tagovailoa was, let's be honest, after the whole situation that happened with Brian Flores, was a little bit broken or a little bit shaky. And Mike McDaniel was able to rebuild him into one of the better quarterbacks in the league, whether you want to agree or disagree with that. He has been one of the more efficient, more accurate team leaders, quarterbacks in this league. Mike McDaniel now dealing with, let's be honest, a fragile Zach Wilson, number 2 overall pick. That's never going to shake. He's never going to shake that. He had a rough time with the Jets. Didn't even play last year with the Denver Broncos as a third string quarterback. A rookie, Bo Nix, started over him. So I think it's one of those things, as you see Zach Wilson grow in confidence and get more reps and build that confidence, you're going to see a better Zach Wilson. You saw that from week 1 to week 2 in the preseason, although a small step, once again, a step towards a greater good. Now, I told you, Zach Wilson had some really good passes. He showed some good poise. He also had some really bad passes. Asking Zach Wilson, does he want some of those throws that he made back?
There was 2 for sure that I want back. I had the deep one to Esco that I underthrew him on. He's fast. It was a far throw. It was a lot further than I think I was anticipating when I originally threw it. So I want that one back. And then the one in the end zone, kind of like a layer ball over the top of the backer in the end zone that I definitely want back as well.
Yeah, definitely. That one to D. Eskridge that he threw down the middle of the field. That's once again, Zach Wilson, I'm saying he overcomplicates things sometimes. I like what he's saying that he wants some of these throws back and he wants to do better. But the thing is, if he had thrown it early, he wouldn't have had to throw it so far. You got to get the ball out quick. You got to get it early, put some air under it, let D. Eskridge run under it. A couple other times he kind of threw behind the receiver. I think it's just one of those things we're dealing with right now, Zach Wilson. Progression. We want that progression, but it's going to take a time for him to build up his confidence, to kind of build things up. And once again, he is working with backup players who aren't always lined up. And that's what you want to see. You want to see control and you want to see poise, not just in the pocket, which sometimes Zach Wilson does hold on to the ball a little too long and overcomplicate things, but you want to see him having control of the huddle, having control of the play calls, having control of the motions. It seemed like at times it was a little shaky yesterday. Once again, he's doing it with guys that aren't your regular starters. You'd expect some of those things to be cleaned up when you have your starters in there. So Zach Wilson, all in all, a good assessment. And once again, we heard from Mike McDaniel saying Quinn Ewers did have a good day yesterday. I don't think anyone's denying that Quinn Ewers had a good day yesterday. I liked him on the move. I thought that he had some good control. I thought that he calmed down like Zach Wilson a lot from week 1 because week 1, neither quarterback I thought was very good. Yesterday, I thought both quarterbacks were pretty good. But Quinn Ewers right now is going to sit at number 3 on the depth chart because Mike McDaniel says it is a process. It's not just what you see on a preseason game. And for the numbers part, the numbers were good for Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers. It just seemed like Quinn Ewers had a little more control of the offense and everything. But then again, he had a different kind of, I would say, scheme. We did notice, it was very noticeable that they had a more balanced game with Quinn Ewers. And it kind of came down to the play calling, I think. I think what Mike McDaniel and those guys wanted yesterday, they wanted to see a lot of passes from Zach Wilson. They wanted to see if he could make the throws, if he could have that poise, if he could lead things. And then with Quinn Ewers, they wanted to see other things. They wanted to try Oligar in the second for more running. They wanted to throw a variety of different passes and plays out there. But all in all, good numbers for both quarterbacks, especially in a preseason game. Two, Zach Wilson, 15 for 23. Once again, he missed a couple of passes, and they weren't pretty glaring bad, but for the most part, he showed poise. 15 for 23, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. Quinn Ewers comes in 11 for 17, 116, 2 yards. And Vlad, I know you really agree with this. The scheme and play calling did affect both quarterbacks.
I was upset with the play calling yesterday because I was like, 23 passes for Zach Wilson. He completed 15. Okay, that's cool, but I wanted to see the other players. I wanted to see the backfield. I wanted to see Ollie Garden. Why I keep on calling him Ollie Garden like Olive Garden?
It's like Olive Garden, yeah.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon. I wanted to see more of Ollie Gordon throughout the game.
Right.
But they seemed like in the second half when Ewers was the quarterback, they ran the ball. There was a focus and attention to running the ball, setting up the play action, seeing Quinn move around the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw a lot of throws with him moving, and he was putting the ball right in receivers' hands, and some of them were being dropped by receivers.
Right. And Quinn Ewers even said, he goes, the running game really helped me because they could pull the ball back and run a play action. Zach Wilson had no play action.
He was killing them with play action.
There
was no play action in the first half because they didn't run the ball.
It's true. Yeah.
Or maybe they saw how Jalen Wright was looking. They were like,
I think it was more of a scheme. They wanted to see a lot of passes out of Zach Wilson. They wanted to see if he could make throws, if he could have the poise, if he could just get some reps.
But then it's not fair when you go to the second half,
right?
And then you see Quinn Ewers putting up two. Well, he had 3 drives,
three scoring drives,
yeah, 3 scoring drives,
2 touchdowns.
But the first drive after the second half, that was a pretty damn good drive. That was helped by the return, and then the Ollie Gordon the second touchdown pass to Wise. That was a great drive.
Theo Weiss Jr. Yep. And real quick, Vlad, they have corrected Jalen Wright's rushing total.
It's 4 carries, 3 yards.
Yes.
Thank you.
They've corrected that. But let's focus in on the backup quarterback right now. Zach Wilson, one more thing. After taking a step forward last game, what are his next steps?
Yeah, I think just the feeling of being out there and getting into a little bit of a rhythm and flow. Like I thought we put together some good long drives, and the longer you're out there, the more comfortable you get. And so I was starting to hit that point where I was starting to feel comfortable just being out there, and I think some of the other guys were as well. Yeah, for me, watching this film, seeing what I could do better personally, how I could, help the guys around me, and then take it into practices next week, just trying to improve on those things, one play at a time. Try not to make the same mistake twice, and then get ready for the Jacksonville game.
It's going to be a process. I've come to the conclusion with Zach Wilson, and I mean, everybody's a process, but it's going to be a process. He was pretty broken up. He was pretty hurt. He was shaking confidence. He's going to need reps. That's going to help Zach Wilson get better. And for lack of a better term, you're probably going to need him at some point this season. Hope not, but you're probably going to need him at some point. If not just at the end of a game when you're up by hopefully 21.
Or down by 21.
Or down by 21. You could put him in. Or maybe at some point you need a more, mobile quarterback, and he can run. He's got a lot of tools. As far as the 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Now, don't take this the wrong way.
Dan, he was my quarterback for 4 years.
But what I'm saying is, as far as tools, the man has as many tools as anybody else on this roster as far as quarterbacks are concerned.
It's so funny. You know what? I'm laughing now. It's so funny. This is what I love about sports. Let me get my Leroy on. Because when he was wearing green, he stunk, right? He had nothing. Oh, everybody's going crazy over that one play he did in his
that was it.
In his workout, in his pro day, right?
Pro day.
So when he's on any other team, and especially against a division rival, he stinks.
He was bad.
But now that he's on your team, hey, he's got more skills than I thought.
No. I said he had a gun and he's got all the tools. He has no internal clock. And I'll stand to you right now. He's got a gun. He's got all the tools. He has no presence in the pocket and no internal clock. And Mike McDaniel needs to find a way to work around that, because I don't know if you can fix not having an internal clock and holding the ball too long and making more complicated plays than they need to be, because that's what he does. He sits there and like D. Eskridge on that long pass that he underthrew him. If he'd have thrown the ball early, he wouldn't have had to throw it 58 yards in the air. He only had to throw it 40 yards in the air, and it would probably been a little bit more accurate. He holds and waits and thinks, and then he tries to be like, oh, I'm a better player because I can make a tougher throw. No, make the easy play. Make your life easy. Make it easy on everybody.
And then if he makes the easy play, hey, the guy was down open downfield. Stop being checked down, Charlie.
I know. That's the other problem. Yes. And you know what? You can't make everybody happy.
Fans need to complain about something. That's the thing.
I did not like the first play of the game where he had the wide open screen pass, looked away, then went back to the screen pass and threw it into the dirt. It's just like you should have thrown that right away. What are you doing? I don't mind that. You didn't throw any interceptions. I give you credit. Neither quarterback threw interceptions yesterday. But I think Zach Wilson's kind of caught up in his own head a little bit right now. But we're working it out. We're working it out. Hey, look, you might have to, you might have to put in a Zach Wilson package where it's quick, not thinking, getting the ball out real quick. But the only problem is defenses pick up on that pretty quick too. So
I tell you, we all know who the smartest people in the world are.
Defensive
coordinators and gambling. The odds makers.
Yeah, that was one of those things, man. But yeah, the quarterbacks that come in the league that do this number, if the first guy ain't open, I'm running. That works for about 5 games. And then they figure out, oh, you just run after the first guy isn't covered. So we'll just cover the first guy and shadow you. And next thing you know, those quarterbacks are backups, practice squad players. And you're like, well, they were good for like 4 games. Yeah, they got figured out. You have to always be changing, always be getting better if you're a quarterback or a coach in this league, because it's a league that does not sleep.